Hey, and welcome once again to Movie Review on the Go. Right now, I'm standing at a bus stop, having to wait another half hour before, and I'm in my city. I'm in the city that I'm supposed to be in Alingsås. I live a good ways down that road, and I do not feel like grabbing these bags and stuff. I just do not feel like walking and hauling all that stuff all the way to my place. So I'm just gonna wait it out. And while I'm waiting, I figured I'm just gonna do another review. How about talk about the very much anticipated The Wolverine that came out recently worldwide, and I was sitting. I probably saw it. I don't know. I can't say I saw it first, but I saw it first here in Sweden. Because I was at the very first showing of it around 3 or 4 o'clock or something like that, just like I did with Pacific Rim. Anyway, this movie, what did I think? This movie is filled with action, adventure, a little bit of pathos, and I gotta tell you, this is a huge step up from the last fiasco, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, X-Men Origins Wolverine, as you all probably remember, sucked big time. That was the first time I watched a comic book movie in the theaters, and part of me was laughing at how bad parts were. Especially the part where he uses the sparks from his claws to start a fire that brings the whole helicopter that crash landed behind him to explode as he walks away looking badass with the rock music playing in the background. It was like, wait a minute, first of all, this isn't the 90s anymore. Alright, that's a different rant altogether. But anyway, what about this movie? This movie was good. It was exactly what it needed to be. Unfortunately, it wasn't fantastic, and it wasn't something that I felt could have elevated the genre to a different degree, you know? And that's kind of sad. Part of me is kind of like, okay. But for what it was like, yeah, there's no reason to not like it, really. I mean, they made a few changes to the original graphic novel that I didn't read that, but I've heard that some characters that weren't mutants were mutants in the movie, and blah, 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 blah. But quite frankly, I feel like I'm on the side that I totally will buy this movie. I enjoyed it. There's some good action moments in there. However, there were things that I felt like, they could have extended the fight scene between him and the ninjas. That, I think, could have been way epic. That could have been almost like what you expect the climax to be before he gets into the actual climax, so to speak. Because it does kind of go into comic book territory by the very end. But had most of the climax been the fight with the ninjas, that would have been something. I think that would have kind of elevated the movie just a bit. I think that as far as the love stuff, and it was cool that, you get to see Jean Grey in the flashbacks and stuff. That was really cool. And she served a narrative point, and not just she was haunting him, but yet wasn't overbearing or anything like that. I just felt like this was all in all the movie that X-Men Origins should have been, and everything. And but there were a few parts that just felt a little lackluster. But that's through no fault of Hugh Jackman, and it's just I think a little bit more script work. Maybe the director could have thought of something a little more unique in some parts to kind of really elevate it. Otherwise, this was exactly what the movie needed to be. I don't think it's making that much money right now at the box office, but it's doing enough, I guess. And now with the X-Men Days of Future Past coming out with Hugh Jackman in the role of Wolverine again, taking center stage, but rightfully so, I would probably say, rightfully so, because otherwise, if he didn't go back in time, he wouldn't have been in the movie largely enough as you would want him to be. The thing I don't like is the bone claws thing at the end. For those who've seen the movie, they know what I'm talking about. The bone claws was a bit, oh man, But that doesn't really matter now in the next movie, because they're going to go back in time and he'll have his adamantium back, so that's not even going to be an issue, I don't think, for the most part. But yes, at the end of this movie, halfway after some of the credits, really neat little tip of the hat to the upcoming Days of Future Past movie that actually made me kind of go, oh, I can't wait to see this. So worth checking out, so don't leave immediately when the credits start rolling. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give this one a huge pass. And it's going to eventually end up on my shelf at home, I'll tell you that. So, yes, great. Enjoy this one. Another plus in the Marvel, or I don't know if you call it Marvel or Fox mostly, but another plus for the comic book movie. Not huge, but could be pretty cool. All right, have a good one. See you around.